and welcome to the Granite State Yarns podcast. My name is Lauren, and I am coming to you from the great state of New Hampshire. You can find me at www.granitestateyarns.com, as well as on Instagram at Granite State Yarns. So I'm here to talk to you today about all of my knitting and crocheting and yarn adventures. Today is July 12th of 2021, and today is episode 3. Believe it or not, I am at 3. So I am a little bit behind schedule. I wanted to get this podcast uploaded for late last week, and here we are on Monday. It's been a little bit wild around here, and I just haven't had a chance to get my recording in. So here I am today. All right, so why don't I start by showing you my finished object. I have one finished object. I had spoken about this last week. This is one sock, and then magic sock. Yay! So this is in the May 2021 Yarnable colorway, Wildflowers. Like I said, I had started this last week and finished them up. They came out super lovely, I think. Yeah, I'm really happy with these. They pooled very interestingly, and I think they came out really kind of fun. I've seen a lot of these on Instagram, and I think, they're kind of fun, exciting, a little different. So I did a knit 3, purl 1 cuff up here. I did that for 15 rows and then 5 rows of stockinette. I did an eye of partridge heel flap, and then, a regular heel turn. Picked up my stitches for the gusset, came down here, more stockinette. Initially I had been doing 65 stitches from my foot, but now I've bumped it up to 70. I think that's giving me a little bit of a better fit. I have a size 8.5 foot, and I think 70 rows just is working a little bit better for me. And then a nice little rounded toe at the end. And I like how the pooling here, like the colors, it almost looks like different, obviously it's the same thing, but it's got such a different personality here in the pooling stockinette section versus like here in the toe where the colors kind of get mixed up a little bit more. So I don't know, I think it came out really cool. I really like the cuff. Usually I do a knit 2, purl 2 cuff, but I thought I'd switch things up a little bit. And I really like how this came out. It's just got enough stretch that it makes a nice little cuff. But it, I don't know, it just looks a little flatter and smoother. Just fun. Yeah. And then I doing the eye of partridge heel flap here. I think it kind of looks almost like a faux Fair Isle feeling going on there. So I'm really happy with that. Just really nice, quick project. Pretty mindless, other than, I don't usually do the eye of partridge heel. So it takes a little bit more thought than the slip stitch. Not a whole ton. I mean, you're just kind of like alternating which stitches you're slipping to do this one. So it's not very difficult, but for me to read my knitting sometimes it's a little bit trickier for this one because I haven't done it so much. So it takes a little bit more like paying attention, and then when I'm counting the rows and everything. But other than that, being like slightly not mindless, close to mindless, but just a little bit of extra thought. The rest of the sock was just a piece of cake, mindless, simple, easy knitting, and I just blasted through it in no time. Did a lot of car knitting, a lot of watching TV with my husband. Actually not, I say that, watching a lot of TV with my husband. We have both been so busy, I don't even think that we spent a whole lot of time. Usually we'll watch a little bit of TV after we put the kids to bed, and I don't think we really even had much time last week, just because, like I said, things have been wild around this house. But for the little bit of time that I did have to, catch up with podcasts, sit down here and there, was able to get this done in, I forget now, I think I did these in like 3 or 4 days. It was really quick. But the yarn that Cheryl uses for her yarnable subscription box is an 85 superwash merino 15% nylon blend, and it's the softest, squishiest sock, and that's why she calls it. It's plush sock, and plush sock indeed. Let me tell you, these are so soft and nice. I'm really impressed. I typically like a 75-25 blend because I want my socks with a little bit more nylon for a little more longer wearability, but I think these are still going to do quite nice because the yarn itself is a little bit thicker, so I'm hoping it's going to wear really well. I haven't had a chance yet to wear these for more than just trying them on, so I don't really know for sure. I can't quite review how it's going to last as far as, you know, wearing around the house, wearing in shoes, washing them, how long they're going to last, but I think if nothing else, they're going to be a joy to wear. I know that for sure. So really happy with these. These are great. All right, so actually that was my only finished object, unless I'm forgetting something, but I really don't think I am. I think that's all I was able to get done. But I do have a couple works in progress to talk about. Both of them are socks. So I will start with this one. I've got one of the socks done. This is the Mandy's Making Summer Sock Camp 2021 colorway. I finally was able to snag one of those back actually when I was on vacation a few weeks back. I was sitting by the pool watching my kids swim, and my little alarm went off that Mandy was having her update, and I was able to catch a sock set after a couple of times of trying and not being able to do it because they've just been so popular. But this color is even nicer in real life than I expected. It's really pretty. Let me show you the cake. It's super pretty. The speckles, that pink color there is just, let's see if I can get it to focus a little better. It's gorgeous. Every time I get to one of those little cranberry colors there, I get super excited. It's nice. It's kind of knitting up with a faux micro stripe. I'm really enjoying this. I'm making this one for one of my daughters, so I'm using a size small in my Arethusa Falls sock pattern. So that gives a nice stretchy rib. And yeah, so this is a size small 56 stitch cast on. It's got a knit to, purl to cuff, and then it moves into the pattern, which is only on the front side. And actually, you can't see it too well because I just did a few rows of it here, but on the back, I also have a little bit of ribbing. If you do a longer sock in this pattern, obviously that ribbing will show up a little bit better, but it's mainly there to help with the fit. My husband, who I really designed this pattern in mind, I designed this pattern for him, with him in mind. Is that what I'm trying to say? I designed this pattern with him in mind, and he likes a nice snug fit to his sock. So I actually usually do a knit 3 purl 1 sock for him, like all the way down. And I wanted to do something a little bit more interesting. So that's why there is this ribbing in the back to help keep it snug around the leg. And then in the front here is some more ribbing, but just with a little bit of interest there. So I haven't, believe it or not, even though I designed this pattern for him, I haven't yet knit him socks in that pattern. So that is one of my plans to try to do once I get these socks done. I think I'm going to be casting on a pair for him because he deserves some Arethusa Falls socks for sure, right? Yeah, so like I said, 56 stitches, size small for my 10-year-old. Ooh, and oh no, my needle came off. You see, got some stitches that are falling off. Thankfully, this is not a terribly difficult pattern to read, so I'll be able to fix this, not a problem. Let me just slip these stitches back on this needle so it doesn't get worse. There we go. I'll fix the rest of it up later. But yeah, I've got the cuff done and finished the leg, the little tiny leg for this shorty, and did the heel, and I'm working on the gusset decreases now. So I still have a bit to do on this sock, but it shouldn't take too long once I can sit down with it. So those are my summer sock camp socks, and I'm gonna have a ton of yarn left over, so I think I'll be getting at least 2 pairs out of this. So that's exciting, and that's why I only did the heel turn in the yellow color, so that way I would have a little bit more of that nice mini to make another matching pair. All right. So I've got another work in progress. This one is actually a crochet sock. This is the Juniper Socks pattern from Allison at Stitchery & Co. And it's a really fun texture here. This is Knit Picks Hawthorne in Sylvania. And it's kind of giving a little bit of a very delicate, kind of a swirly striping situation going on here. But yeah, I really like these. So if you remember last week I talked about a crochet sock that I was working on. It was actually also from the same pattern designer. And I realized that I had made a mistake somewhere in the sock. I'm pretty sure it was in the toe box. I was kind of having a little bit of trouble with it. It had nothing to do with Allison's pattern being a problem. She actually writes really incredibly detailed crochet patterns with lots of pictures. I think it was just I was a little I've been dealing with some like postpartum challenges with keeping my memory on track, and I kind of get distracted really easily. I mean, I've got 7 kids, and there's always somebody kind of pulling my attention away, and I think I wasn't able to focus well enough on the toe box as I wanted to. And I think when I was doing it, I felt like something was off, but I just kind of powered through it, thinking, you know, it's, as long as it'll be fine. It's close enough. It's not going to be a problem. But when I was looking at the start, I wanted to write down notes so that way I knew, you know, how many rows of the toe box did I do and how many stitches was I doing for the diameter of the sock. When I was counting them, I just realized that the numbers weren't making sense going with the pattern, so that I must have made a mistake somewhere. And so I figured, okay, I think it's time to just put that away and try again. So that one was the classic crochet sock pattern from Allison. And then this one is her Juniper Sock pattern, which has the same, as far as I know, it's the same exact toe box, but then the patterning up in the main part of the sock's a little bit different. And doing the toe box this time around, it made way more sense. I had no problem with it at all. So I know that I had made some sort of funny something or other with my first sock, and then the second time it much better. So I'm really enjoying this sock so much more because I just feel confident that it's actually coming out correctly. So if you want to learn how to crochet socks, I still 110% recommend Allison's pattern. Either the classic crochet sock would be great, or this Juniper sock pattern that she has now. She's actually doing a crochet along, which was my inspiration to cast on crochet, I don't know, to start this to start this sock because of the crochet along that Allison was doing. But I definitely recommend both of those patterns. Just try to do it. If you haven't crocheted socks before, try to do it at a time when things are quiet and you can actually focus on it, so you don't make a silly mistake like I do. It's not that difficult at all. I think, you know, it's just a new thing. I understand socks, especially cuff down socks, no problem. Like, I get that. I can do that forwards, backwards, practically in my sleep at this point. But, you know, this is crochet and it's toe up, and it's not like it's all that much different, but it's just enough that if I wasn't able to give it 100% of my concentration, I was going to make some little mistake, and lo and behold, that's what happened. But truly, the pattern is written clearly. There are a lot of pictures in there, and Allison's done a great job with coming up with a really good crochet pattern. So I don't foresee any more real issues with this. I'm just gonna be really careful try to find some time where I can focus. But so yeah, she's got a crochet along going on right now. I believe it's going through until the end of this month. Shouldn't be difficult at all to get socks done in a couple weeks. They're shorty socks. I mean, I'm sure you can adjust it and make it longer if you wanted. But this pattern is super fun. Makes a really pretty pattern. It's actually written out to do a contrast heel and toe, but I'm just doing one color just to make it a little simpler for myself. And I'm really happy with it. So did I mention this is Knit Picks Hawthorne in Sylvania? I think I mentioned that already. I don't remember, just in case. Yeah, so that's that. I shouldn't have any problem getting this done in the next couple weeks. The crocheting is just going really, really quickly, and I'm actually really just enjoying it now. I thought that it would be a little bit of like, oh, I guess I'll do some crocheting when I really want to knit, but it's absolutely grown on me. So, you know, if it's something that you ever want to do, try it. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm excited to see how it's going to fit. Okay, so those are my 2 works in progress right now. I did get to pick up some new yarn that I got from Willow Tree Yarn. I met Angela on Instagram and just fell in love with some of her yarn, so I had to pick up some. So here's the first colorway. This is Beach Chairs. It is a 75-25 blend and very, very soft and so pretty. These speckles are awesome. It's on a nice creamy base. These really pretty teal and teal and green speckles with this nice little mini here. This is a 50-gram skein and a 20-gram mini. And I'm super excited about these. So pretty. I also got one of her duo sets. This is 2 50-gram minis. This is her slushy colorway. And I am a sucker for lime green. I have always loved lime green. And so when I saw this one, I said, this has got to come home to me. So the speckling on this one, it's got, it looks like it's probably the same green and teal, but also has these like pops of like a cranberry red or even a brown. I'm not sure, even some like darker. I don't know, maybe the dye broke or something into different colors. I'm not sure. She just used a bunch of different colors. Yeah, because it's just pink down here, so I bet you she used a bunch of different colors. Anyway, I'm super excited about these. I mean, look at that green. Ah, it's gonna be super pretty. I don't know yet what I'm going to do for a pattern for this. I'm still thinking about it, but I'm excited to try a duo like this with 2 50-gram skeins. So that's going to be a lot of fun. She actually also sent me some nice goodies. So I got to show these off because this is her card. Angela. Let's see. Yep, there we go. And she gave me a nice little progress keeper here with a rose on it. Super pretty. And then, let's see, I also got a little candy. Looks like cherry. And some tea. Cranberry lime. So I'm really excited to try that. She sent me a nice little letter. Packaged everything up so pretty. So, highly recommend Willow Tree Yarn. And I will definitely be back. She looks like she does some incredible dyeing. I also have a few new project bags. I actually got these from a friend that I met on Instagram, and she offered to sew me up some project bags, and I sent her some yarn in exchange for that. So she does not have an Etsy shop, but she made me these absolutely adorable bags. So they are drawstrings, and they are a nice size. I only have a couple of project bags. Like, here's my summer sock camp socks. in my summer sock camp bag. And this, I don't know if I've talked about this one yet. This is the bag from Stolen Minutes, and it's perfect size for socks. But the ones that Katrina sent me are just a little bit bigger here. So I'm really excited to have a couple of bigger project bags to do, you know, sweaters or, I don't know, shawls, other big projects here. Look at the inside. Look at this. Let me see if I can find a good spot. It's this really fun fabric with some snips and a sheep, and looks like a granny square. Yeah, like a little crocheted granny square and some flowers and knitting needles. Like, it's so fun. Look at that little hanky yarn. It's just super cool. I really like this fabric on the inside, and then the outside's got all these balls of yarn. Super cool. Look at the knit fabric. Katrina, you really got to open up a shop. I'm telling you, you make such cute bags. And then I'm sure you guys have seen this fabric before, the little knitting kitties. I have loved this fabric, and I have so wanted a bag in this. So I was really excited that Katrina had some of this to offer, because I got my knitting kitties and it's so cute. Look at the fabric on the inside. Just really fun. And then the little polka dots on this pink. I don't know. I love them. Thank you so much, Katrina. So that's so exciting. All right. And then I spent my Friday this week. Part of the reason why I did not get to podcast was because I spent my Friday dyeing yarn. I had sent Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady some yarn that I dyed up as a thank you to her, and for, like, you know, all of the years of entertainment she's given me. I've been watching her podcast for at least the last 2 years, maybe even 3. And I was just so thankful to have learned so much from her. I've used a few of her patterns. I've just, you know, I've been such a fan, and I just had to send her some yarn to say thank you. Also, when I had donated some yarn for the summer sock camp giveaways, and when she talked about them online, I got a ton of sales in my shop. So, you know, just as a thank you, and as kind of being excited for her new Jeep that she got, as well as the Jeep that her husband got, and all the fun that they've been having with that. I don't know, if you don't watch The Crazy Sock Lady, you need to watch The Crazy Sock Lady, because she is definitely my favorite of all the podcasts that I watch. And so yeah, I dyed her up some yarn inspired by her Jeep and her husband's Jeep. So I have one of them here. This is Rosie and Blackjack. And so I sent her this yarn, and she contacted me to say thank you and knit up a pair of socks in like a weekend. And when she talked about it on her Instagram, I sold out of the couple skeins that I already had in my shop, and then ended up selling a bunch of pre-orders to dye up this. So I spent my Friday dyeing up yarn for all of you guys that were really excited about this color. It went so well. I was so worried about it because I hadn't done a pre-order at this level before. I've done pre-orders for yarn before, but, you know, I only had, you know, a couple of hanks to have to do, so not a big deal. But this time I got a little excited, and I had opened up 30 slots for this colorway, and it sold out in a few days. And I was so excited and so thankful for all of you people who were as excited about this colorway that they had to go and buy some. But it did mean that I had to order a whole giant box of yarn. And I was worried, okay, because I'm a worrier by nature. I am a pessimist. I am a worrier. And I ordered my base, and the folks that I buy from have been fantastic. But I was so worried that, something was going to happen to the box and it was going to get lost and it wasn't going to come in. And oh my goodness, came in just as expected in like 3 days, not a problem. So I was all, okay, that's done. But now I have to dye 30 skeins of yarn. Oh my goodness, I've never done more than like 15 in one day, and I have 30 to do. And is it going to be okay? What if I run out of dye? So I go and I order more dye from my supplier, even though I still have a ton of it. But just in case, what if I run out? I can't run out. Well, the dye didn't come in until today, but it was fine because I had more than enough dye already. So it worked out just fine. The actual dyeing went so well. I had no problems at all. Everything came out great. It's matching perfectly. All the notes that I had written worked out great. I was able to dye up all 30 that I had pre-ordered, plus an extra 5. So I will have 5 more in the shop eventually, very soon. So if you missed out on that original order or the pre-order and you're still interested in getting some of the Rosie and Blackjack yarn, I will have that in the shop within the next couple of days. So, follow me on Instagram. I'm sure I'll be posting about that as soon as it's up. So I got all that done, no problem. Everything worked so smoothly, and all of the things that I was worrying about totally weren't a problem. Everything was great, but the problem that I'm having is that it has been raining and storming. We had all the remnants of the Hurricane Elsa that had hit Florida. They came up the East Coast, and it's been just wet and damp, and I cannot get this yarn to dry. It's been such a process. Usually I dye on Friday or Saturday, and I've never had a problem. My yarn's always been dried by Monday at the latest. And now here I am on Monday, and my yarn is, it's drying, but there are still damp spots in it. And I have to get these shipped out by Friday, and for the pre-order. But I really wanted to get them out sooner because shipping is such an important thing to me. Like, I get so excited when I order yarn that I want to get it as soon as possible. So I want to make sure that I get my yarn out to all of you guys as fast as possible. But my yarn just won't dry. So I bring it outside so it can get some sunshine and fresh air. But then bring it in if it's going to rain, or I bring it in at night, or I bring it in if I'm not going to be home because I don't want, the cat to get to it or something. So I've been moving it in and out and hanging it up on hangers, and I have it in my my laundry room. Now I've got them hanging up in my dining room because it's just been raining. So I am hoping that, the nice air-conditioned dining room the air is dry enough that they're going to dry. We have a fan blowing on them gently now. They're getting there. They're almost there. I know that they're going to be dry in the next day or two, but I just want to get these done and get them out because I'm so excited to have all these orders, and I want all of you to be so happy when you get your yarn. So I'm trying and I'm going as fast as I can, but I want to make sure that you're getting good, high quality, nice, dry, wonderful yarn. So that's why it's taking a little bit of time. The things that I worried about, it's just me being silly, but in the end, the only trouble has been just trying to get this yarn to dry. So it will be done soon. Definitely. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to get them. That tomorrow will be Tuesday, maybe by Wednesday at the latest. I'm hoping they'll be dry though. So I have been working on all of my labels. I got them all set. I really gotta, I know that I have all of my shipping supplies. So anyway, it's gonna be great. They're gonna be out really soon. And thank you to everybody who ordered. If I haven't said it enough, let me say it again. Thank you so much. That night when Kay was talking about the socks and everybody was ordering these pre-orders, it was so fun. My 2 oldest kids were at camp that week. So it was just my youngest kids and my husband home that day. And I was getting the notifications every time, you know, these pre-orders sold. And it was just like, every time we would turn around, I'd get another notification. And we were just like laughing and excited. And it was so much fun to know that there were all these people that were excited about this yarn that I dyed up. So we just had an absolute blast, and we're so thankful for all of you who ordered, because it's allowing me to do this little project and to make a little business here. And I wouldn't be able to do it if it wasn't for all of you. So really, thank you so much. It's so exciting. And hey, you know, it allows me to bring a little bit of beauty out into the world, and, you know, continue to pass on these traditions of knitting. And it's a dream come true. So really, thank you so much. So this is my Rosie and Blackjack yarn. But believe it or not, even though I dyed up 35 hanks of this colorway, I also get to play a little bit more. And I'm going to have a few of these in the shop at the next update. Like I said, hopefully in the next couple days. I'm still waiting for these to dry, as I'm talking about wet yarn. These are the closest to being dry, but they're still a little teeny bit damp, so I'm gonna untwist them and let them dry a little bit longer. But they're dry enough that I can at least show you in the podcast. So I haven't named this one yet, but it's got some nice teals and some pinks and purples and a little bit of green in there. My girls love this colorway. Trying to see if they can come up with a fun name for them. But we haven't finalized the name yet, but this will be up soon. And then I've also got this one, which is a little different. It's some teals and some greens and some orange, actually. Again, no names. If you have some suggestions, you could write them down below. That would be awesome. I don't know. I am not, naming colorways is not my strongest point right now. But I really enjoy playing around with the color. And then this one is actually not going in the shop. This is the only one. It's one of a kind. It's actually, there's hair on it. It's actually all the leftover dye that I had from doing the Rosie and Blackjack. I still had a little bit of magenta from the Rosie color, and then a bit of black that was left over, and some brown. And so I just grabbed a nice hank of yarn and plopped it in my dye bath with whatever dye I had left over, and it left me with this kind of like purpley color here. And it was really pretty, but at least some subtle differences in my yarn colors. So for fun, I threw in some blue to my dye bath and gave it kind of an interesting variation in color there. So my husband actually really likes this, and I thought that I would save it for him to knit a pair of those Arethusa Falls socks that I was talking about earlier. So that's the plan with this one, because there's only one. I mean, I could put it in the shop, but if my husband likes it, he can have it. So this will be really fun to do. So that's my plan. Like I said, once I get some of these works in progress done, I'm gonna make him some socks, because that man deserves some socks. I'm also working on my website and converting over from my Etsy shop into being able to sell just directly on my website. That way I can have a little bit more control about what I want to sell. Right now there's, selling through Etsy is great. It's really nice to have such a simple way to start up a business, but I would really like to be able to have full control over how I sell, where there's just a few little bugs and tweaks and things that I have to deal with selling on Etsy that I'd prefer to be able to just have control in my own website. So I am right now behind the scenes working on getting all of that set up. So I don't have a timeline quite yet on when that will be available, but pretty soon. So that's exciting, and I've been enjoying kind of getting to play around with that and designing my website up a little bit better. So those are really the goings on right now. I guess that's good enough for chit-chatting for today, and I will hopefully be back again. I don't know if I'm going to record later this week or just wait and do it next week. We'll see how things are going. But there we go for now, and I will look forward to talking to you all again really soon. And yeah, so, follow me on Instagram if you have any questions, if you want to chit chat, if you want to talk, you can talk to me through Instagram right now, or, email me. All my information's down below. I'm happy to help with anybody who has pattern questions or knitting questions or just wants to talk. And yeah. So thank you so much for watching, and I will look forward to talking to you all again soon. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.